welcome back to another video, and today we have my NFL Week 12 recap, and this week I was 12-4, so in Week 11, the week before this, I was 12-2, this week 12-4, so two 12-win weeks back-to-back, and my 12-4 week this week puts my overall for the whole season to 108, 67 into 108 correct, 67 wrong, and then the two ties. But besides the two ties, I am 108 and 67. My goal is to stay under 100 for wrong, which I'm at 67, and to go 200 or more correct, which I don't think I'll get there. I'm 92 away, but we still have 5 more weeks plus the playoffs. Maybe I can get there. But let's recap the Week 12 games. So on Thanksgiving, the first one was the Vikings at the Lions. This was actually a very exciting game. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so this was actually a very exciting game to watch. It was back and forth, but at the end, Sam Bradford, the Vikings quarterback, choked. By the way, this game was, the winner of this game would go number 1 in the division, which the Lions lead it now, 1 game over the Vikings and 2 over the Packers. But anyways, this was a very exciting game. It was on Thanksgiving, and in the end, the Lions pulled it out in a battle by a score of 16-13. Thought the Vikings might have got it at the end there when they had the ball, but Sam Bradford choked through the interception. The Lions got the game-winning field goal, and they won it 16-13 at home. So moving on, I got that right, so I was 1-0. The next one I actually got wrong. I thought the Redskins were going to upset the Cowboys. Hey, I was really close. They were 5 points off. So at this point, 1-1. Yeah, the Cowboys are 10-1. If they win this weekend in Week 13, then they will be the first team in the NFL to clinch their playoff spot. 2 teams have already been eliminated from playoff contention, the 49ers and the Browns. And then the Bears, and there's one other team. The Bears and the Jaguars, if they lose this weekend, they will also be eliminated as well. So good win for the Cowboys at home. I mean, they probably thought it was too close, but hey, a win's a win, and they're 10-1, so good job so far for the Cowboys, 10 straight wins. Hats off to them right now. They're probably the best team in the NFL. And the Redskins, they did good, though. They came close to beating them. So good game for the Redskins, though, but the Cowboys pull it out. So then, this one I also got right, which put me at 2-1. The Steelers beating the Colts by 21 by a score of 28-7. It was actually a lot better game than the score shows, really. The Colts had a lot of missed opportunities, but in the end, the Steelers did pull it out. They're now 6-5 in the wild card race in the AFC. The Dolphins have the last spot at 7-4. In the hunt, we have the Broncos at 7-4. Then the Steelers and Bills at 6-5. The Titans at 6-6. And the Chargers and Colts at 5-6. All in the hunt. But yeah, anyways, guys, the Steelers got it done in Indianapolis on Thursday Night Football to get the win over the Colts. So now let's jump into the Sunday games. The Jaguars at the Bills. The Bills win at home, but only by a touchdown against a team that went in 2-8 and is 2-9 now. And the Bills, 1 game out of the wild card spot, 1 game behind Miami. They play later this season. They're tied with Pittsburgh. They also play them in 2 weeks, actually, but they don't play Denver, but they play Pittsburgh and Miami. So I don't know. Do you think that they're a playoff team? Maybe they just didn't think that they were going to have to play too hard against Jacksonville, and they kind of played and still got the win like they probably thought they would. But I don't know, they have a big task coming up this weekend against Oakland. But good win, though, at home over the Jags. And like I said, if the Jaguars lose this weekend, they'll be the 3rd team eliminated from playoff contention. Moving on, the team with the second most points of the week, the Falcons beating the Cardinals by a score of 38-19. A lot of offensive points, 38. Good win. They're now 1 game ahead of Tampa in the division. Tampa with that really shocking win over Seattle, but I called it. My two underdog games, if you want to say, there's a word for it, I think. My 2 underdog picks, I guess, was the Redskins over the Cowboys. That was wrong, but I did pick the Buccaneers over the Seahawks, and I got it right. So, yeah, anyways, back to this game. The Falcons looking really good. They get it done 38-19 over the Arizona Cardinals, and now for the Cardinals side of it, they're just not looking good this season at all. Just no. They're probably not going to make the playoffs unless they win out, and they still would need some help probably. So, yeah, they're not going to make it in. So, good win for the Falcons, though. So, moving on, by the way, I got that right, and I also got this right. So, I was, oops, sorry. There we go. So, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. The Ravens-Bengals. I actually got this wrong. I picked the Bengals. So 4-2 at this point, but the Ravens are tied with the Steelers at 6-5 for the division lead. And The Ravens would break the tiebreaker because of the head-to-head win. And the Bengals, they're just not looking good. Second straight week where they got robbed at the end. They lost to the Bills by 4 and the Ravens by 5. Should have won both, but didn't. So, tough loss. They're not going to make the playoffs either. Probably 2 more losses for them, and they would be done as well. So, yeah, moving on, I got this one right. The Titans over the Bears. So, 5-2. Now, the Bears, again, like I said, they're in the same situation as the Jaguars. If they lose this weekend, they're out of playoff contention. And the Titans is the last team that is yet to have a bye week, and the Cleveland Browns, but they will both have it this weekend. But they're 6-6 in the division right now. The Texans are 6-5. Then the Titans are 6-6, and the Colts are 5-6. A huge battle for that division, but the Titans keep on rolling with a win over the Bears. All right, next up, this game I got right, which put me at 6-2. The Giants beating the Browns in Cleveland, 27-13. I mean, yeah, they only won by 14, but I mean, it's the Browns. It probably was a little bit too close though for the Giants, but hey, a win's a win. You're still only 2 games back out of the division, so keep fighting, Giants. Alright, so, oops, sorry about that, guys. So, what am I right now? Let's see, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2. Alright, this one I got wrong. So, 6-3 now. I picked the Texans. They lose by 8 at home over the Chargers. The Chargers, even though they're 5-6, all 6 of their losses is 1 score, 8 points or less. Really, they deserve to be better, but Texans, like I said, in that battle with the Titans and the Colts in the division, that is really going to heat up in these next 5 weeks. Next up, the Dolphins squeezed past the 49ers. That was an incredible finish in Miami. Really, the 49ers deserved to win this, but they didn't, and they're now eliminated from playoff contention. But yeah, really, if you saw the end of that game, Kiko Alonso and Ndamukong Suh on the Dolphins just stopped Kaepernick short of the goal line. So the Dolphins, I think they have some work to do still. I really do think they have some work to do. But as of right now, they have that last wildcard spot because they break the tiebreaker with the Denver Broncos. Alright, next up, this game I got right. Well, the rest of them I all get right except the Monday night. So that was my 4th loss because I did pick the Eagles. But the Rams at the Rams at the Saints. The Saints got the most points of the weekend, getting 49. The Rams offense looked better, but the defense did not, and the Saints just fly right past the Rams and get it done 49-21. Next up, this was one of my underdog picks. The other one was the Redskins, but they did not get it done. But the Seahawks and the Buccaneers, I picked the Buccaneers. They win it by 9, and they're just 1 game behind the Atlanta Falcons in the division. Everybody is saying that Seattle's the best team in the league, or at least the best team in the NFC. I really think you're wrong. I really think that it's the Cowboys, honestly, because, well, they got 5 points against the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers are really good this season. Nobody saw this coming in the beginning of the season. At least I didn't. But, the Buccaneers now are 6-5, 1 game back in the division. Another tough loss for Carolina at Oakland. They lost in the last 3 weeks. They lost to the Chiefs by 3, should have won it. Lost to the Raiders by 3, should have won it. Beat the Saints by 3, which they won. But 1-2 in their last 3, and they should be 3-0. It's tough. They really should have won both those, and they really should be 6-5. But instead, they're 4-7. They need to win out and get a lot of help to get into the playoffs. I just don't see it happening. The Raiders keep rolling, and now they are 9-2. And next up, the Patriots beating the Jets 22-17. The Raiders and Patriots are now tied for the best record in the AFC. Sorry about that. Just getting actually a Hangouts call. But, let me decline that. Alright, I apologize for that. But, so, really, oops, what's going on now? Okay, so really the, Panthers should have 2 more wins than they do, but they don't. But, now I remember what I was saying. The Raiders now and the Patriots are tied at 9-2, both just barely getting by their opponents. The Raiders just getting by the Panthers, and the Patriots just getting by the Jets. They're now both 9-2, and they are tied for the AFC lead. They have the number 1 and number 2 seed if the playoffs started today. But, the Patriots and Jets game, the Jets put on a fight. But, it's a division game. I wasn't too shocked that it was that close, but especially because the Jets were home. But, I really wasn't that shocked. But the Patriots get it done in New Jersey over the Jets. Alright, now the Sunday night game. This was a thriller. The Chiefs at the Broncos. I think the Broncos probably deserve to win it, but the Kansas City upsets Denver at home and gets it done. That was in overtime, in the closing seconds. If you didn't know, near the end of overtime, with about 2 minutes left, the Broncos attempted a 62-yard field goal. It was short and wide, and then the Chiefs drove down the field and kicked the game-winning field goal at the final seconds of overtime. Just a great time for the Chiefs right now to get a win. They needed that to stay ahead in the wild card, and they're still just one game back in the division behind Oakland, so it'll be interesting. I mean, still the Chiefs and Broncos 1 and 2 games back could really fight to beat Oakland in that division. We'll see as these next 5 weeks come around, but anyways, back onto this game. Good win in Denver for Kansas City. Alright, so then the Monday night game, this was the final game that I actually got wrong, which put me at 12-4. I picked the Eagles. They're now 5-6. They're not going to win the division. They're 5 games behind Dallas. So at this point, they're fighting for a wild card spot. I don't see it happening, but it could. That's all I'm going to say. I don't see it happening, but it could. And the Packers are now 5-6 as well, but they're only 2 games back out of the division behind the Lions, 1 behind the Vikings, so they're definitely still fighting in the division, but the Eagles can't because they're 5 games back behind the Cowboys.